Welcome to the Tippin Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
What a day. What a spectacular day. The Leafs came in, they stomped their foot there, said, there's going to be some fucking changes around here. Didn't happen.
You are listening to episode 159 of the Tippin Maple Leafs podcast. We are 10 away from 169, and that is going to be a Tippin extravaganza.
It's the only thing I got to look forward to anymore.
Only positive thing is that we're 10 episodes away from 169. That'll probably come next, who knows, October, maybe November. We'll get there.
So, let's just get into it. It was free agent day. We were looking forward to maybe some people moving, some cap space being made. Some
breaking news, though. Breaking news. I should say this. I don't know, because we're doing this live at 7 p.m. We came on a little early. Did you get the update on Johnny Gaudreau? Johnny
Gaudreau is signed with the Columbus Blue Jackets, 7 years, $9.8 million per year.
So $68 million for an 8-year deal. Do you know? What was on?
7-year deal.
7-year deal for okay. You know what was on the table from the Flames?
Well, it had to be 8 years because they could offer it to him.
Yeah, $10 million, man.
Yeah, well, he just didn't want to go to Calgary.
That is weird, is it not?
I don't know. It was like John Tavares had more money offered to him by the Islanders, but he came.
But do you know why Johnny Gaudreau didn't sign out of the gates? I believe he wanted to play in Philly or he wanted to play in New Jersey. And those teams, I don't think, were interested in paying Johnny Gaudreau.
They didn't have the cap space. Like that was a big problem with today. Is like teams just didn't have the cap space.
Are you leaving $10 million for 8 years on the table? That's an $80 million contract. Are you leaving that on the table with the Calgary Flames to go and play in Columbus for $9 million? Well, basically the same money, kind of, but. Yeah. He's not going to get a goddamn sniff at a championship.
You don't know. It's 7 years, so you don't know what could happen. You don't know what could happen. And I didn't think Ottawa was going to be very good for a while. And after this offseason, I think they're very close.
Okay, I think that's okay. You're right. That's fair.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I'm not writing it off. But anyway. It's good, whatever. Johnny Gaudreau signed. Good for him. Good for Columbus.
It just happened, so that's why I brought it up. It literally just happened. But go ahead. Here we go.
Anyway.
Before you get started, before you even say anything.
You just told me to go.
Sorry. I am furious. I just want to say that out of the gates. I'm absolutely furious. Go ahead, please, Chad.
That's it? That's all you had?
Once we get into it, I'll get my points across. But go ahead, man. Sorry.
All right. No. So let's just get into the signings, the big signings that happened. The first one that kicked off everything was the Leafs went out and signed Ilya Samsonov, 1 year, a goalie from Washington, 1 year, $1.8 million, which you would think because you're paying Matt Murray 4.6, this is your backup goalie.
4.7, dude.
Well, 4.687, so 4.7. But Dubas said in his press conference, that starting role is up for grabs. Like, they're going to fight it out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bullshit.
Then why didn't you just sign Samsonov and forget about Matt Murray? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. Then later in the day, my socks were blown off when they fucking signed Nicholas, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Campbell from Colorado, the guy who dinged the cup.
Yeah, the guy who dinged the cup.
So the Toronto Maple Leafs, who haven't won a cup since 1967, signed the one guy who can't even hold on to the Stanley Cup. Good job. Way to go. And then after that, I'm like, well, this can't get any better. It does. And they go and get Adam Gaudette. They played for Ottawa, 1 year, $750,000. These are just pieces.
They're fourth line guys at best.
At best. They're fourth line guys. They could play for the Marlies. They're probably going to be healthy scratches most of the season. Lyubushkin went to Buffalo. Mikheyev went to Vancouver. Jack Campbell's now in Edmonton. Did you fill those spots at all? No. Not at all. Not even a little bit. So, I don't know. I'm really pissed too. Pissed too.
Where to start here? Okay. Let's go with, I'll just go in order of what you said there, signings, okay? They signed Ilya Samsonov, or I'm still figuring out how to say his name. I think it's Samsonov. But anyway, that's the best signing of the day for the Leafs.
They had a couple other minor league ones, like Dennis Malgin's back in the mix.
Oh my God.
Um,
Oh my God.
they signed they signed a minor
Like,
league.
why?
They signed a minor league goalie, Dennis Hildeby.
Yeah.
But
That's the
like
guy
now
they draft. That's the guy they draft. No, but that was the guy who
they
they
drafted him.
just
But I mean,
drafted him. So he just signed an entry level.
this was nothing that's going to help the team right now. Like Dennis Malgin's going to play on the Marlies this year, and
Why even
whatever.
bother with Malgin? Why? Why even
I don't
waste
even. He
any
wasn't even
money
playing
there?
in the league. Nobody wanted him.
What a
I don't understand what's going on. I
No,
don't
that-
understand what's going on. Justin Hall's still on the team. Kerfoot's on the team. Alex Kerfoot got paid the majority of his contract at 12-1 today. Did you know that?
I did not, but that would have been the perfect time to fucking
So
send him out of town.
He has 1 year with a cap hit of $3.5 million, but any team that picked him up would only have to pay him $750,000 cash, because the rest of it had been paid by the Toronto Maple Leafs this morning, and you couldn't move that.
Well,
You couldn't move that and free up that cap space. Come on, get out of here.
I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into it's not that they couldn't. It's not that they couldn't.
It's that they won't.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. And here, guess what? We're going to be, and I'm going to get into Holl and Kerfoot a lot more as we get going tonight. But if like Kerfoot is a free agent after next season, and so is Justin Holl. So here's what we're probably looking at. If Dubas loves these guys so much and he brings them back and thinks we can win with these fucking guys, which we can't, but if he thinks it so much, guess what's going to be happening next year at this time?
They're going to walk.
They're going to walk. So, they're going to walk again. So we'll be in the same position. I guess Dubas will be like, well, I won't have to worry about that because he won't be employed at that fucking time. I'll tell you, man, my fucking, I have turned on Kyle Dubas completely. I have completely turned him being so reluctant to move. Chad, other than letting guys go, okay? Like Cachet and Campbell and just letting guys walk, Labushkin, okay? Letting guys go and find money elsewhere, whatever, okay? Other than that, he has not made a roster move for any, he hasn't traded anybody on the roster. Not one single guy. Not one.
It's way, way too comfortable right now. It's just
my
too comfortable.
God.
Like, I can see these guys. I can picture them in my head just smiling, being like, I'm not getting traded.
It's a fucking joke, man. Like, shake it up. If any team needs a fucking shake up, it's this team. And I'm not talking about Matt Murray and Samsonov and the dude that dented the cup. Like, come on, man.
I know.
Like, get real here. Get real. You want to win a Stanley Cup? These aren't the moves you make to do it. They're not. Like, here's
you can't do this. Like, you can't keep sending out the same people year after year and thinking it's going to work. And the thing is I said this last podcast, when we say core, we're talking like 4 guys. We're talking Matthews, Marner, Riley, Nylander. And even Nylander, a lot of guys want to talk about trading.
Well, Tavares, obviously, too.
Tavares, yeah. But if I could get out from Tavares, I would. Okay, so we'll throw Tavares in there. But Dubas is looking at this core like it's the whole fucking team. He's looking at it like Justin Hall's the core piece. We can't part with Justin Hall. He's got great hair. Can't part with Alex Kerfoot.
He cut his hair, by the way.
I know he cut his hair, but he still had great hair.
He had great hair.
It's just I'm just like you. I have sat here on this podcast. I have defended Kyle Dubas a million times, and now I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing. It says it in the title of this video if you're watching on YouTube. Has he lost his mind? Has he lost his mind?
But this is like, here's what boggles my mind most about this. It's like, he's surrounded himself by so many smart people. They collectively are coming to these decisions like, this is going to make us better. This is going to make us better. No. Like, it's like, what is it, man? Spets is not chiming in. Wickenheiser's not chiming in. Shaney's not chiming in. Like, these are smart people. These are all very intelligent hockey people. The fuck are they doing? What kind of operation are they running down there?
I have no idea. That's why I think this is I think this is very much Kyle Dubas' team.
Oh my God.
And it's all this loyalty stuff.
Oh my
Like, he's
God.
so loyal. You got to show
Oh my God.
loyalty, and
Oh my God.
like
Oh
if
my
you
God,
played with
Chad.
if you played for the Sioux Greyhounds, I'll always remember that, and you can come with me. Well, fuck the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, okay? It's not like the Sioux is some fucking place where these magical players come to play and
Oh,
just
dude.
become superstars. It's just another OHL franchise. It's
I'm
just
with
another
you.
junior team in the world. Is it a good one? Sure, it's good, but Peterborough Petes have a great fucking history of hockey here in Peterborough. You don't see
Dude.
GMs from Peterborough going and being like, I only take Pete's.
No,
I
I am
only take Peterborough Petes.
I am so with you. This podcast is going from bad to worse because I just got a notification that Connor Brown has been traded to the Washington Capitals
Oh, yes.
for a second round pick. That is it. A
Spike
second
says
round
that too.
pick.
He's shipped out for a second. Leafs couldn't have brought him back. My thoughts exactly. We don't have second round picks. Hey, I would have thrown in a couple people for you.
How about this? Don't sign the two. Don't sign the two guys.
Would you rather just swap Connor Brown and Kerfoot? I would.
Yes.
Just to change it up.
Yes. Connor Brown. I would take Connor Brown over Kerfoot any fucking day. Any day. Connor makes, I think, a little bit less. I think.
Okay. Well, I'll throw in Justin Holl too.
It's around the same amount of money, but like, how do you not get in on that? How do you not get in on, like, they didn't want to give Connor Brown
They're not in on anything. They're not in on anything. There are trades happening all over. There's signings happening all over. And the Leafs are going after Ottawa's goalie that they were literally shoving out the door. And then they're going after Washington's goalie, who they're like, we don't want. And then they're going against guys who can't hold on to the Stanley Cup and more Ottawa players that they didn't want. It's fucking mind-blowing.
Dude, if I'm working the phones and Dorian from Ottawa gives me a shout, or I hear from somebody else that Brown is available and it's only going to cost a second round pick, I'm like, okay, we got to move Holl or Kerfoot or don't even have to do it right now. You can move them later. If I hear, because you can, you don't need to be cap compliant today. You just have to be cap compliant when the season starts.
Or not even about, I know what you're getting at there, but why didn't they do this when they were talking Matt Murray?
Well, no shit.
Why didn't they say, listen, I'll retain 20, you can retain only 25%, but give me Connor Brown.
Right. Keep your second, or keep your third and your seventh.
Yeah, I'll pay Matt Murray $4.7 million, but give me Connor Brown. Give him to me.
I don't understand how you would, like, that's the guy. That is, like, that's a piece that could help you. A second round pick, that's it? A second? Man, maybe some people might think that's expensive for Connor Brown. Well, if you watch Connor Brown play and see the heart that guy fucking gives every shift.
Anyone listen to this podcast as a Leaf fan, they've seen Connor Brown before. They know what he brings. He's the type of guy you want on your team. He's the type of guy you want in your locker room. I don't know. I'm lost. Do you want to talk about the signings? Do you want to start with Samsonov?
I guess, look, okay. We could go, yeah, okay. So I like that. I do like that, considering where we are. I like the pickup because Matt Murray's, we said everything that needed to be said about Matt Murray 2 nights ago.
Right.
But
now instead of having Jack Campbell and a questionable Peter Mrazek, you have a questionable Samsonov and a questionable Matt Murray for the same money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, okay. So I think it's about 6.5 combined for both of them.
Yeah.
For Murray and Samsonov.
And not one of them can you rely on.
No.
Like right now. I even heard Frank Corrado say on the radio today that he heard from someone in Ottawa that Matt Murray couldn't even play if it was today. He's still rehabbing an injury.
Oh, no doubt.
So, like, if he's not ready for training, oh my God, I can't. I just can't.
I don't think Samsonov or Samsonov, whatever. I got to figure out how to pronounce his name. I don't think he has he's a young guy and he doesn't have an injury history.
No, he doesn't.
History of injuries. So I feel more like he'll be there. Like I'll get.
But he hasn't been incredible. He has a high upside. Like there was a lot of talk that he could be a very, very good goalie. He is mediocre in Washington. You know, his career totals a .903 save percentage with a .282 goals against average.
Okay. Like they had no problem letting him walk to bring Kemper in. So
no.
But I'm a little surprised he came in at 1.8 actually, because the Capitals were like, I guess there was an arbitration, possibly could have gone to arbitration and would have cost them, you know, if an arbitrator decided it would have been 3 million or something like that. So, but I'm a little surprised at the 1.8 tag, but it's a 1-year deal and whatever. But I'm okay with that. He's a young guy. I think he's got upside. Like, I actually like him more than Murray, so we'll see what's up. But we'll see. Like,
yeah, I don't mind the Samsonov signing. I don't mind the price. And yeah, I don't mind signing a young goalie for that money that has the upside to do something.
Sure.
Would I like to have someone like Marc-Andre Fleury who I just would feel more comfortable with? Yeah, sure. We don't have that. We have Matt Murray and this guy. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, probably not well, but we'll see how it goes. But
we'll see how that goes.
Like the other the Mulligan signing, like that's not even Dennis Mulligan. It's not even worth talking.
He's going to play for the Marlies.
But why would you even do that? You're taking a spot from a kid. Like it doesn't even.
And didn't they trade him for Mason Marchment?
That was the original trade.
Do you just want to pour salt in the wound and bring back memories of shitty trades? Like, why?
It's crazy, man. It is crazy. It really is crazy.
I don't understand.
But the other two guys, this Adam Gaudette guy, I'll be honest, I don't know much about him. He's bounced around a little bit. I guess he's like a two-way player. Like, okay, he's a fourth liner at best. There's no upside. He's a fourth liner. That's it. And
is any of this going to put you over the top?
Oh my God! Now, like he's like the two guys they signed, the Nicholas, I can't.
Abu Kubel.
Okay, so
Albay Cabell.
I guess he's got a little grit to him, which I like, but you know, and he is coming off a cup win, but he didn't play in the final game, by the way. But anyway,
no, he's a fourth line guy.
The two guys are fourth line guys. Like I don't see these signings today as like last year when it was Camp and Cachet, and I'll be honest, I wasn't too crazy about that at the time either.
No,
but man,
well, I knew Cachet, and I said it on the podcast. There was a lot of upside, and Camp, I'd heard from people that watched the Blackhawks, was like amazing defensively. But you heard good things, and there was some upside to these signings. These are just plugging holes.
Yeah, this is way worse. Like this is crazy.
There's nothing that Leaf fans should be excited about right now.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. So there's, it's not over. There's more to come. We'll see what happens. Like,
There's the second person to say this. I'm just going to put this up, but JM, I'm mad we lost the Boosh.
Okay, I was going to get into that later, but
a lot of people are saying that they were sad to see the Boosh go. I was really sad to see the Boosh go, and I don't understand. Dale texted and said this to me, and I totally agree with him. He said, Boosh can sign for 2 and change in Buffalo. You couldn't have moved Justin Holl and kept the Boosh?
There was no term on his deal. It was a 2-year deal. That's like right in Dubas' fucking ballpark. He loves a 2-year. Dubas loves a 2-year deal. He signed for 2.75 for a season for 2 years, Lyubushkin in Buffalo. You are telling me you would rather have this is where I'm going to blow a fucking gasket. You would rather have Justin Holl. You can't move off of Justin Holl, who isn't half the defense. I don't care about stats or analytics. When I watch the fucking game, when I want to see a hit or I want to see someone fucking just
try.
Oh my God. Justin Holl at $2 million. Like, you move that money out and you sign Lyubushkin to a 2-year deal. It's a no fucking brainer. How do you not do that? How do you not move on from Holl? You could have traded Holl. No doubt you could have traded Holl. Do you not think you could trade Holl?
Yeah, he's a right shot defenseman.
I know.
They're in pretty high demand.
They absolutely could have traded Justin Holl to make room to bring back Lyubushkin. So what the fuck is the mindset of the management of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and what are they thinking on this one?
I don't know. And like you said earlier, they could have just signed the Boosh and worried about it later. You can be over the cap, but if you're like, you know what, I want to keep this guy, but there's just not the right market right now. 2 and change for 2 years is is pretty good for the Boosh. I know.
No, it's a great.
I heard guys on the radio today. I heard Al's brother being like, "Oh, it's too steep. I wouldn't pay that price or whatever."
No, Justin Holl's making $2 million.
Last year, you had that guy playing with Morgan Riley. By the end of the season and into the playoffs,
your number two defenseman,
your number 2 guy. So 2.25 is not that much, Al's brother.
No, it's not.
$2 million for a guy who fucking Keefe had in the press box for 5, 6, 7, 8 straight games. A guy who couldn't even skate away from someone and cost us a goal in Game 7. Justin Holl I'm done with Justin Holl. I want this guy
God.
traded.
So done with it. I cannot. This was probably my most.
We're both just like, our heads are gonna fucking explode
because I don't understand it. I don't understand it, man. Do I know as much as Dubas or
No.
Probably not. Okay, but here's what I do know: there's no scenario ever where I would choose to keep Justin Holl over Ilya Lyubushkin when the money is about that much of a difference. Real fucking close. Yeah. There's no fucking way. There's just no way.
No.
One guy brings you something that you can really use and you need. The other guy, no, he doesn't bring you anything. He's a big guy who doesn't use his size, and he's kind of just a sloppy player all around. Lyubushkin will fucking bang people, get in your face, clear the front of the net, not afraid to throw an open ice hit.
And analytics will tell you that he's not the player Justin Holl is, but I'm so sick of the analytics because it's the analytics that I believe got us into this mess. It's the analytics of you can find these bargain bin players and stuff, but you know what happened? We just keep losing in the first round, and we've fallen in love with players who we could see with our own eyes.
Not we.
Management has fallen in love with players we could see with our own eyes can't get the job done. And I don't know why. There's some sort of thing they see, and I think it's the analytics on that.
Of course it's the analytics. We're talking about the whiz kid up here.
Our buddy Koshi's back, and he did. I'm going to put this up. Dubas did say this in his press conference. He said, Koshi said, didn't Dubas say today they plan to look for defensive depth now? Bush would have covered that just fine. It's totally true. He said
defensive depth. No, I wouldn't even. No, I wouldn't even look at.
He wouldn't even be depth. He would bolster your blue line. But now you're going to go looking after the Bush is signed in Buffalo? I don't get it. He's lost his mind.
I just don't think 2.75 for Lyubushkin is not too rich if you move Holl's $2 million. That's as simple as fucking that. You move one guy out who's making too much, Justin Holl. You sign Lyubushkin a 2-year deal at 2.75. You're only paying him $75,000 more than you're paying Holl. That is to let him go for that small amount without trying to move Holl, or even like we've said, sign him and worry about dumping Holl later. It's just
it's fucking nuts.
It really makes me. I've turned on Dubas. I have, man. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. I am sick of his he thinks he fucking knows everything. And apparently,
I don't know if he thinks he knows everything. I think he's betting. He's betting the house. He's betting the farm. He's betting everything on what he's built.
How many times can you do that when it
he's
doesn't
gotta
work?
He's got to have doubt in his mind, but he always says, trust the process and go with it. He believes this team will win. That's what he believes. He believes this team can get it done. I don't know if he's heard about how important goaltending is in the playoffs, but if you want to win, sure, you can love your players, but you got to have someone in net to play. I don't know.
Look, man, just guys that we're just touching on this, but
he's too afraid. It's a business. Put your fucking Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds hat at the door. Put your love for your players or your friendship with the players at the door, and do what's best for the team. And if what's best for the team is moving like a William Nylander or moving a Kerfoot and Holl to free up cap space to maybe bring in a different element to the team, then that's what you got to do. But he just won't do it.
Why won't he do it? Guys,
Justin Holl cross-checks his own goalies.
Guys, they could have moved to bring guys back, or make a bigger splash. Like we're specifically targeting in on Kerfoot and Holl because those guys are making too much money. Like that would
I think they're the easiest ones to trade. Like Justin Holl, $2 million, one year left, and like I said about Kerfoot, a 3.5 cap hit, and they paid him all this money today, except $750,000. I think those are very easy contracts to get out of.
That's $5.5 million that you can sign Lyubushkin. Maybe you do bring back Cachet, who signed a 1.8 or 1.5, I think, maybe in Carolina. He's going to Carolina. I don't know if you saw that or not, but so Cachet didn't sign for a ton. I think it was like 1.5, whatever. I'm fine. Okay, you don't bring Cachet back. That's fine. Like you don't need to bring everybody back. There's a lot of
questions about Cachet's health, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with Lyubushkin. Lyubushkin is exactly what you need. Guess what they're going to be looking for at the trade deadline next year? Another Lyubushkin, because most of the guys on the blue line are fucking pussies. That's the truth. Well, they're fucking pussies.
And eventually, if you want to shore up the defense or the goaltending or something, you're going to have to part with one of these forwards. It's just going to have to happen eventually.
Well,
here's what's going to happen, Chad. Quality number 2 to play with Morgan Rielly, or you want a stud goalie, then I'm sorry. Eventually, you're going to have to walk up to one of your friends down the hall and be like, we're shipping you out of town.
It's Nylander, but here's what we're talking about here. It will not Dubas will be gone, and another manager will make that decision. That's what's going to happen. Dubas won't do it. Do you honestly, like, the more this season after season after season, like the more time that goes by, there is literally no part of me, like loss after loss after loss. There's no part of me that thinks he's trading any of those guys. No way. No. He won't. Dude, he doesn't even want to part with a Holl or a Kerfoot. Like, does he think they're vital parts of the fucking team?
No.
Come on. If he's not willing to move a Kerfoot.
2 years ago, Holl spent 75 games in the press box.
If he's not willing to move a guy like Kerfoot, he would never move a fucking Nylander. Never. At the end of year press conference, like they kind of made you believe like we're open to things and blah, blah, blah. No, they're not. They're not open to fucking dick. What they're open to is we know we have it right here. It's just a matter of time. That's what they think. It's just a matter of time. It's
not even time. It's luck. You know, if just one thing had to win our way, we would have got past Tampa and just steamrolled our way to the Stanley Cup.
Luck doesn't win you a Stanley Cup, man. It doesn't. Like, it doesn't. Was Colorado lucky to win the? No, it doesn't. Like, it's not. Luck doesn't get it done.
And you know what Colorado had? Colorado had a mix. Colorado has speed and skill, but Colorado has some grit and toughness. Colorado has speed, but Colorado could slow the game down. Colorado could come at you like in so many different ways. Where I feel like this Leafs
Colorado love to come.
Yeah, all over the place in all different ways. That's what I'm saying. They love to come in all different ways.
What's better than that?
Sometimes slow, sometimes super fast.
I don't think there's anything better than that.
Sometimes they would come from behind. Sometimes they would come from the front.
I don't think there's anything better than that.
No. This Leafs team, I feel like they maybe know 1 or 2 ways to come. That's it.
Yeah,
that's boring.
It's very boring. It's very boring. But like, look, man, like they're talking about like, okay, like you don't want to sign guys. Like I'm going to get into Campbell in a second here. Soup goes to Edmonton. We'll get into that in a sec. But like they're talking about like the term and not wanting to sign. And you mentioned this last podcast about not wanting to go past the 2-year window here of Austin, whatever. You got to be real careful there because we're looking at a scenario like if we have another failed season next season, they can start negotiating with Austin July 1st next year. But like, where's his head going to be at if this thing goes in the fucking tank this season? Where's his? Is he going to be like, oh yeah, like I can't wait to sign? Like maybe he will. Maybe they'll throw him so much money that he'll just be like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, whatever. Like there won't. I think there would be a lot of teams around the league that would be very interested in paying him whatever the Leafs were going to pay him. Not every team would be able to afford it, but there would be a handful that could. So
yeah, like the Leafs would be in the best scenario because they would free up the money they were paying them and they could add more to it.
And that kind of seemed to me, And this is what I've started thinking over the last little while. Like, to me, it seems like all they're really worrying about here is like, we need to make sure we have the money to pay Austin in 2 years or next year, whatever. Like, they really see, like, and I appreciate taking that into consideration.
That's great. That's great. I think there should be a little more to it, right?
But does it not seem that way is it not seeming that way to you? That like they're really thinking, oh yeah,
they're really worried about those contracts coming up, him, Marner, Nylander. But I mean, you're the one that signed them to all expire at the same time. You could have, and I like to do this, spread it out.
Spread it out, man. Spread it out. Like, they should have never given, like, yeah, all of those deals could have been longer term deals. Like, you didn't need to go 6 years on Mitch and 6 on Willie and 5 on Austin. That's crazy.
You should have went the max on Austin Matthews. That's just bad contract signing. But also, he was really good friends with Freddie Anderson, and you just turned your back on him. He's really good friends with Jack Campbell. You turned your back on him. And now he's going to come in and be like, do these guys, do they think we're going to win? Like, the players have to have a little bit less confidence in the team. When no more Mikheyev, no more Bush, no more Campbell, and nothing. There was nothing done today. If something just had been done, just one little thing to show that they were trying something, it might give me hope. But
just some type of trying something, just a different look. Like, we're gonna trade a roster player or two, and we're gonna free up space to go after a bigger piece, or we're gonna just trade these guys and bring in a different. Like, I don't care what. Just do something different.
Even if they just had traded, let's say they just traded Holl and got nothing really back, but they freed up the cap space. Well, that shows me that they're leaning in some sort of direction. But this shows me they're just ready to go. Like, they're like, all right, let's start the season. We're ready to go. We got our
We'll get them next year with the same bunch of guys. And we'll get them next year with the same group of dudes. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I don't want to see a second line of Nylander, Tavares, and Kerfoot. I cannot do it, man.
They don't even play well together.
It's not good. No, it's not good enough. And that might not be their second line, but like, they still have Camp, and Engvall's probably going to, they're going to sign Engvall. Great. Engvall. Like, he's like, who the fuck cares about Engvall? I wouldn't have probably even qualified Engvall. Yeah. I would have replaced him too. He's got great speed. Great. Guess what? Pussy. He's another fucking pussy. We got a lot of pussies around here, and I love a good pussy, but these guys there's too many pussies. When there's too many pussies, it's overwhelming.
It's too much. It's too much. Like, you need a hard cock every once in a while.
Exactly.
Not a bad cock.
No, not a Babcock, but it's just it is ridiculous. Like, I'm trying to make light of it because I'm just like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
But it really does come down to Dubas being so reluctant to move a roster player. I'm not talking about letting guys walk. Like, Mikheyev goes to Vancouver for like 4.75, whatever. We knew like that was going to happen. Jack goes for 5 times 5s. We knew it was going to happen. But but
it didn't have to happen.
Have to happen.
You basically could have given Jack that contract. Like, if you can get out from the Mrazek contract, I'm pretty sure you could get out from 3 or 2 years on a Jack Campbell contract.
Sure.
Pretty sure you could do it.
You could have signed
that. You could have signed that contract and be like, "I'll worry about it in 3 years, but I want Campbell in the net." But instead, he's like, "Oh, I like that guy. I remember that guy from Sault Ste. Marie."
Okay. So let's. Jack was a Sioux guy too, right? Don't forget that.
He was, yeah. But doesn't he have a bigger tie with Matt Murray in the Sioux?
I don't know. There was a time in the Sioux when Dubas had Murray and Campbell, I think. I think he had Murray and Campbell at the same time in the Sioux, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, let's take a minute here to say goodbye to Jack.
Yes.
Like, let's take a minute to say goodbye to Jack. Like, it sucks. Like, Mikheyev, I don't really care, whatever. I wish they would have signed Lyubushkin. I really like Lyubushkin. I thought he brought a lot to the table. But Jack was our dude, man. This was the guy. This was the guy. Did you catch him on Overdrive?
I did, yeah.
They had him on around 6 o'clock.
He was his regular friendly self, really dodging the questions.
Well, he just hit a goddamn home run, though, right? Like,
I know, but I think Hayes came at him twice, trying to get him to be like,
What
"Why?
happened?
Yeah, what happened with Toronto? How come you guys didn't talk?" And he's like, "Oh, free agency, so first time doing it, and I'm just so happy to be going to Edmonton."
He basically said like he just left it up to his agent, and
Yeah,
like the Leafs. He didn't say this, but we know that it's term. It wasn't the dollar amount. If Jack would have taken a 2 or 3 year deal, they would. I think they would have signed him. I really do.
yeah,
But he, like you said last podcast too, the Leafs did not want any part of a 5 year deal at
yeah.
that amount of money, and I get that. I do get that to an extent.
I get it
But
too, but what I don't get is being like, "No, that's too risky." But Matt Murray,
well, there you go.
like I
But
get it, Matt
it's
Matt
only
Murray
2
won the
years.
cup. I know it's only 2 years, but still, you are in a win now window.
I know.
And you've got a goalie who hasn't really shown anything in 3 years. So,
Oh, I
uh,
know.
there was a comment, I can't find it here in the comments, but anyway, someone was saying about maybe they're banking on Nyes filling out a top 6 role, and I just think
Well,
I've
he's committed to go back to college.
yeah, but just in general, I've heard a lot of people talking about maybe Nick Robertson makes a jump up and stuff like that. I don't
Right.
think if you're a Stanley Cup team, you can bank on that stuff. I think
No,
you
you can't.
you have to have it in
It
place.
would be nice.
It'd be nice, but you can't go into the year being like, I hope my goalie finds his groove again, and
No.
I hope my young guys find a role on the team. You
No,
just can't do
100%.
that.
No,
So
I'm with you, man. And look, but so we just want to like we should just I hate to do it, but like
someone wants to know if we think Coachy wants to know if we think Sandin will be signed.
yeah, of course he
Yeah,
will.
I think he will be. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, but
I know. Well, they're probably fighting for more money, so and Dubas is probably like wants to give him what they gave Lilligren, I'm sure. So
right.
anyway, just saying goodbye to Jack, man. Like it was a great I really enjoyed like I was a big
I was a huge Campbell fan.
well, even like I was a big Anderson fan. Like when Anderson came
Yep.
in and when he was like he really solidified the goaltending for the Leafs when we needed it. Like he was great. He was the best. Anderson was the best goalie we had since Belfour and Cujo, without a doubt. And then he starts getting injured, and Campbell just stole the fucking net and never gave it back, man. And so much so to a point where now he was never a starter. Anywhere along the way, he became a starter with the Leafs, and now he signed a 5-year deal for $5 million per $25 million, and he's going to, just like Zach Hyman, he's going to play with McDavid and fucking Draisaitl and Evander Kane, who re-upped. Edmonton is
Going for it.
Man. Like, I'm not sure how they're making all this money work, to be honest, but
I don't get it either. I don't really get it.
You know, like they got some guys out there making some cake
Maybe
too, but
maybe they have a Robida Island somewhere in Edmonton, and they're just going to send some of these guys. Like I know Duncan Keith's gone and Mike Smith. And
Keith, that freed up they just basically gave Keith's money to Jack Campbell right there, $5 million.
Yeah, so there you go. But they're still like Evander Kane got a good payday.
But he only signed for $5 million too. 4 years, $5 million or something like that. He probably could have got more on the open market. But Evander Kane was like, my best bet might be Edmonton. It was a good fit. He fit in like a fucking.
He looked the best he's looked in years.
Oh my God, incredible! So good for him, man. I think Edmonton's got a shot. I think they have a better shot than the Leafs. I really do.
Yeah, and I heard this. Coachy brought this up, but I heard this morning as well that it was reported they were getting Connor Brown. Like it was like Darren Dreger.
I heard
like
that
the big guys were saying it's almost a done deal, but
that would have been wild, man. Because they already have so many ex-Leafs out there. Most of them I hate, but 2 of them I love: Campbell and Hyman, CC and Barry. And
good for Jack Campbell.
Great for him.
I'm happy for him. I'm gonna miss him in Toronto, but
I'm gonna miss him too. But
he's 30 years old, and he finally got his payday. He worked his ass off to get there.
Like there was just so much going around, basically saying that like the Leafs didn't even offer him a deal. Did you hear that? Like they didn't even give him an offer.
That's why I found it. That's what he was doing on the interview on Overdrive, kind of beating around the bush. Like he didn't
want to say bad things.
He didn't want to throw anyone under the bus, but
because the truth is, without the Leafs, he doesn't get this deal.
He's talked like he hadn't talked to Dubas, whatever. Then Dubas says he's been texting Jack and talking to Jack. So I think it was just
It was the term.
It was the term, and it was the money. And for some reason, the Leafs just felt they needed to move off Jack Campbell.
But you heard the reports that like they didn't even offer him a.
Oh yeah, they didn't even.
So that's a little crazy, eh? Like, do you not think maybe you'd be like, okay,
they didn't
Jack,
even want to talk earlier in the season. They were just like, no, we'll wait it out.
That's fucking weird, is it not?
I think so.
Oh man, okay. I got a few more things, Chad, but I think we better fucking go to Ed Belfour.
Yeah, let's go. This is Belfour Spirits, proud sponsor of the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.
Hi, Ed Belfour here, Belfour Spirits.
Making some of the best whiskey in the world. We've been at this for 5 years, going on 6 years. And this is family operated. We go to work every day. We work on every aspect of this business. We take great pride, at watching people drink our whiskey and that big smile on their face. Like, wow, this is really, really good. That's what's so awesome is when you see those people loving your whiskey. And it's like when I played a game and at the end of the game, they're chanting my name. We just want to make really great tasting whiskey, and that's our goal. And, as it ages, it's only going to get better. We're very proud of that.
Buy a bottle and I'll sign it for you. Buy 2, I'll help you drink the second one. Have a great day.
Belfour Spirits. Go to belfourspirits.com for more information on how to purchase Belfour Spirits.
Eddie Belfour, my goodness, man. So speaking of the goalie situation, let me throw this one out for you. And we're going to get to wet puck or dry stick here, folks, real soon. And, anyone who doesn't know how that works, I guess we'll explain it before we do the segment.
When we get to it, we'll tell you how it works.
And, just should say, like, this is our last podcast until training camp.
Unless a roster player gets moved.
Chad, come on.
So, this is our last podcast until training camp.
Come on, man. It's you and I both know it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I truly believe there's no part of me that thinks he's trading Kerfoot or Holl. Why wouldn't you have already done it? Like, what are you waiting for? What are you going to get a blow your socks off offer in the middle of August for fucking Justin Holl or Kerfoot? I highly doubt it. This last week would have been the time to move that money so that you could have done something better today. Like, you don't.
I think that's all of us, everybody listening right now, everybody on the chat. That's what everybody was hoping for, is not even like signing one of the huge contracts or one of the huge players that was out there.
Bringing Lyubushkin back would be a start.
Just doing something, making a little splash to be like, we're going to change the tide a little bit in this direction, but it was same old. Stick my finger in a few holes and just hope she don't leak.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it, man.
That's not the way to do it.
Okay, so before we get to wet puck or dry stick, I had something. Do you have anything else you want to add? Because I was going to throw something at you here. Randomly.
All right, no, I got nothing. I've been pretty loud this podcast. I'm not usually this.
Yeah, this is good. I like it. I like this side of you, man.
I was really pissed today. Like I
like this side of you. Well, there's nothing to be excited about because guess what? We go back with the same group plus Dennis or Malgin or whoever the fuck. Like, guess what's going to happen? Like, come on, man. Come on. This has got disaster written all over it. It does. I don't have a good feeling about it. Do you? Like, I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. It's like we're the fucking female in the first 5 minutes of a horror movie. Like, everybody in theaters like, you're going to get killed. You're going to get killed. And the girl's like, no, I'm not. Everything's perfectly fine. I'll just go into the basement because it's completely safe. And she gets fucking killed every time. That is the Leafs. We just keep doing the thing that everybody's like, you can't do that anymore. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to get to round 1 of the playoffs next year, and we're going to get bumped.
Probably. Like, dude, Austin's going to score. Mitch will be good. We don't know if Tavares is going to, like, continue to decline or if he'll have a rebound season. Not that he was terrible, but, like, you know what I mean? Second line center. And Nylander, who the fuck knows? This guy's hit or miss. He could show up and be dynamite. He could
Yeah.
like,
Nylander-
or he could not show up at all for half the season.
Nylander's just a streaky player. You know what you're going to get. He can be. Kyle Dubas had a great quote about him earlier in the season. I forget what he said, but he's like, in the same game, in the same shift, he can do something that will make you so pissed off, and then 2 seconds later, do something that no one else in the world can do.
True, but I don't love that. I don't love that.
But that's what he is. He's a streaky player. He's never going to be like an Austin Matthews or Mitch Marner, but he's also better than probably 75% of the league. So
okay, fair. I would still trade him. I would still move him. I would still move him.
I would move anybody, like obviously not Matthews or Marner, but I would move anybody on this team for the right thing to come back, for the right piece to come back. Like there's nobody outside the big guys that I wouldn't move.
Same. Okay, so let's check this out. They were doing a thing on, I'm not sure where they were doing it. I don't think it was on Overdrive, but it might have been. I don't know. I only caught bits and pieces today of different stuff, but they were ranking the Canadian teams, the goalies for the Canadian teams. Did you see any of that?
On TSN?
It was on I don't know if it was Overdrive or if it was on TSN. I think it might. Anyway, okay, whatever. Here's what I want to throw to you. Let's rank what we think is who's got, like, from the best goalie situation in the Atlantic. I'm not talking about the Canadian teams here. I'm just going to take it to our division. Who has the best goalie situation in the Atlantic from 1 to 8 to the worst? What do you think which team is set up for best in net and which is the worst? What do you want to, it's Tampa's
Tampa,
one,
yeah.
right?
It's Vasilevsky's number one.
Obviously.
Okay.
What do you think? Okay. So we failed to mention that Dorian, like, it's the summer of the Ottawa Senators. I don't know if we mentioned this, but he trades Gustafsson, his backup goalie, for Cam Talbot. So Talbot's stats from last season were incredible. He got pissed off in Minnesota because they decided to re-sign Fleury. So I don't know, Talbot, I like that too. But anyway, regardless of that,
I would have been happy with Talbot and Samsonov.
Oh, wait, 100%.
But yeah, they got Talbot, they got Claude Giroux.
Dude, Talbot played I think he played almost 60 games last year, Cam Talbot. Yeah. And his numbers were incredible.
There were things the Leafs could have done out there. When Dubas said at his press conference, he's like, it was either Ottawa told them like 25%, and this is what we'll retain 25%, and this is the deal, take it or leave it. And Dubas was like, it was either that or we elect to look elsewhere, and we elected to take the trade. I was like, look elsewhere.
Yeah, look elsewhere. No shit.
You can come back. That guy's not going anywhere. No one's coming knocking on the door for that guy. You can come back to that later.
Okay, so before we go to wet puck or dry stick and wrap it up, do you want to just what do you think? What do you think? So, okay, we're in agreement. Tampa Bay number 1, okay?
Yeah.
What do you think? Who do you think is number 2 in the Atlantic? Like, goalie wise? Like,
well, I mean, Talbot and Forsberg in Ottawa is a pretty good tandem.
It is.
Who's we got in Detroit?
Okay, so let's run through it.
You got to refresh my memory.
Okay, so Vasilevsky and whoever, Elliott is his backup in Tampa.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You have Vasilevsky.
The Panthers, it's Bobrovsky, and I don't even know who the backup is there, who the other guy is there. Honestly, I can't even remember who the other goaltender for.
But they're gonna rely heavily on Bobrovsky if they can't get rid of him.
Probably. Okay, so the Leafs, it's Murray and Samsonov, whatever. I'll figure that one out as we get going. Detroit, it's Ville Husso and I forget the other guy.
You should have had these goalies ready.
Yeah, I know.
If you wanted to play this game,
he's their number one. He's their new number 1, Ville Husso, who they just signed from St. Louis, and the other guy they got from Florida last year. I can't remember his fucking name.
Why did you want to play this game and then you don't know any of the goalies? I'm like, Dale's going to tell me all the goalies and I can rank them.
Like, we know the Ottawa goal. So there's Detroit. We know the Ottawa goalies. We know the Montreal goalies. Whether Price plays or not, it's Jake Allen and whatever.
Okay, basically what you're getting at is where do you want me to put the Leafs on this list?
I don't know. Kind of. I
would say the Leafs are probably bottom half. Right? Like, I think, the Sabres have kind of shaky goalies. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get.
Did they sign a goalie? Did Buffalo get a goalie?
No, they've got. I think didn't they get the guy from Winnipeg, Eric Comrie?
Oh, okay. So it's him and Anderson then.
Yeah, so you don't know what you're going to get. It could work out. It could not. Detroit could work out. It could not. I think
Yeah.
Ottawa upgraded. I think Montreal's
Yeah.
Carey Price is going to be good.
I don't think Price is
Bruins-
playing. I don't think Price is going to play
Okay, so Montreal may not be great, but it might be better than Toronto. I think Toronto is in the mix of
in the
we
middle.
don't know.
In the
And then
middle.
I think you know what you're going to get from Bobrovsky. You know what you're going to get from Vasilevsky. And you know
Well,
what you're going to get. You know what
Bobrovsky's not like.
No, but you know what you're going to get. It could be good. It could be bad.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we have no idea. Toronto could have absolutely brutal goaltending this year, or it could be lights out. We don't know. We have no
Okay.
idea. We're betting it's not going to be very good because guy hasn't played good in 3 years.
Yeah, I should have been more prepared for that one. Sorry, I thought maybe you knew like.
You put me on the spot. You're like,
no, but I didn't have the tandems in front. I was like,
oh, he's got this game.
No,
he's
no,
ready to
no,
go,
no,
and then
no.
you're like, I don't know what his name is. In
no,
Detroit.
man. I thought we would just like work that one out together. Like you would help me and I would help you, and we would figure out the tandems together. But anyway, okay. In agreement, though, the Leafs, but definitely not at the top. I think they're in the middle. I think they're in the middle.
Yeah, I think Ottawa surpassed them today.
Yeah, I think so.
I would feel much more comfortable with Cam Talbot and Forsberg than I do with Murray and Samsonov.
Okay, so I agree with that. Anyway,
let's get to wet puck or dry stick.
Yeah, we'll get to wet puck or dry stick here. Gonna
Basically,
play. Yeah, go ahead, Chad.
I was just gonna. So wet puck or dry stick.
Hang on, explain it when we come back because I'm gonna play the intro. As we play the intro, just not gonna lie here, I'm having a few crack canoes. Okay, been having a few beverages this evening.
He's got to piss.
Gonna take a little bathroom break as I play the intro. So if I'm not back in time by when the intro's done, you explain it and we'll fire it right up.
Perfect. All right, hit it.
Here we go.
All right, so how wet puck or dry stick, how it works is we're going to give each other questions. If you think it's good, if you think that's the way to go, that's a wet puck. That is what you want to listen to. If this is not something that's very good, it's going to be a dry stick. So we're just waiting for Dale to get back from the bathroom, but that's basically how it's going to go. It's just been dead air for like 2 minutes.
Sorry, did you not explain?
I explained it, and then you still weren't back.
Oh, my bad.
Taking your piss. I'm gonna have to edit that out of the actual podcast.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Anyway,
it happens. What are you gonna do?
Let's get into it. Let's get into wet puck or dry stick.
You already explained it though.
Yeah, I explained exactly what it was.
Okay, for those who don't know, but anyway, yeah. Sorry, folks. Whatever. Yeah, having a few crack canoes this evening because Kyle Dubas has lost his fucking mind. That's just the truth. That is just the absolute truth.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, Dale, wet puck or dry stick? This is one I wanted to ease it in here. One with Jack Campbell. Stay away from the negative. Wet puck or dry stick? Jack Campbell, who is it? He's a wet puck. Jack Campbell will represent the West in the All-Star game next year.
Ooh, that's a good one out of the gates, man. I like that. Fuck the West. So Kemper moved over, Colorado. Who's playing that for Vegas? Is it still Leonard or who's?
That's who it's supposed to be, but who knows?
I'll On the Edmonton Oilers, I don't know. Uh, I'm gonna say with playing in a division with Markstrom. That's tough, man. I want to say wet puck, but fuck it, wet puck,
All right.
Yeah, why not, man? I'm just trying to think of who else. Like,
Well, we're going to forget about this anyway.
no,
so
I
it
know, but
doesn't matter.
Markstrom is not. Jack's not as good as Markstrom, obviously. So it's hard to say, but yeah, I think there's a chance that he could. So I'll say wet puck. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he would this year, and he did. So you never know. If Jack has another fucking
Back-to-back All-Stars.
Well, if he has another stretch of 940 hockey for 2 months, that'll get you in the All-Star game again.
I think he's going to be coming in hot, man. He's playing on basically as good a team as the Leafs. Really?
Oh, yeah. Maybe better.
Maybe better. So, yeah, I think Jackie Boy's got a shot.
Yeah. All right, hit me up.
Okay, well, we're going to keep it on the goaltending, but move it over to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, yes.
One of the new boys in town, Ilya Samsonov. Is it Samsonov? I think it's Samsonov. Is
Whatever.
it? Okay.
If you want to pronounce it Samsung, if that makes you feel better.
How do you pronounce it?
Samsonov.
Okay. Ilya Samsonov.
Jerk me off.
Oh, I like this one. Right out of the gates. Will be the starter by the end of the season for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wet puck. 100% wet puck.
Okay.
He's going to be the starter by November 10th.
Okay. I'm huge wet puck.
And not because Matt Murray's playing bad, but because Matt Murray guaranteed will be injured.
Well, quick follow-up, Chad. Samsonov will start game 1 of the playoffs because Murray will continue to have injury problems and won't be reliable when we need him most. Samsonov will not only gain the starter's job during the regular season, but start game 1 of the playoffs. Wet puck or dry stick. That was a follow-up.
Ooh, I mean, I'll go wet puck, but I have a feeling that...
How could you not?
No, but I have a feeling that if Murray is showing, like, if he only plays 20 games like he did last year, they're going to have to go out and get another goalie. And
well, then I think you'll see Shalgren and Wall get a shot like they did last year.
Maybe, but you're paying this guy to be more than 28. He played 20 last year and 27 the year before. So he's on pace to play about 16 this year.
Yeah, for 100%. Dude, Matt Murray will probably have a fucking paper cut and he won't be able to go. He'll be in the press box with a fucking paper cut. Undisclosed paper cut injury for Matt Murray.
Just can't do it.
So
just can't do it.
No.
Okay.
So is it so what though? If the
wet puck.
Yeah, it's got to be. How could it not?
Wet puck. I'm not banking on Matt Murray playing a full. He's played 150 game season in his entire career. Do you think next year he's going to do it after all these injuries and concussions and neck? And he's had weird injuries, head, neck, and it's not like a knee or a groin.
I know. Hangnails, paper cuts. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. Someone says, will he even be ready for opening night?
Probably not.
Samsonov may start the first game.
We talked about that on last podcast. There's a good chance this guy doesn't get through training camp healthy, and he's not in net opening night. Strong. I would bet if you want to put a percentage on that, I think there's an 80% chance he does not start opening night. And I'm not even joking, man. I'm not even joking.
Oh man. All right, wet puck, Dale, wet puck or dry stick? Kyle Dubas, and we talked about this in the podcast, so this actually works great. Kyle Dubas, at some point this season, will be forced to move a roster player.
What does forced mean?
It means that things are going south. And his job's on the line. Or do you think he just goes down with the Titanic? He just salutes the band and sinks with the iceberg.
Okay, forced to move a roster player. I'm going to say wet puck, and I'm going to follow it up immediately with my second one. And here it is, because it basically fits right into this. All Kyle Dubas will end up trading Kerfoot and or Holl for cap space or other pieces before the start of next season.
Oh, Dry stick.
Dry stick.
Wouldn't he have done it today?
You think he would have been working on it the last week, man. So, yeah. Okay, so that's a dry stick. But in season, forced to trade a roster player? Okay.
Like, let's say Murray gets hurt. Let's say Samsonov's a 890 goal, save percentage. So they're not getting good goalie, but they're still getting wins here and there because they can score like nobody else. But what if Austin Matthews doesn't have the same pace he had last year? What if Mitch Marner kind of has a step back and has an off season, and they're just hovering around that, third, fourth place in the Atlantic, kind of in the wild card, out of the wild card.
Oh, dude, you're teeing me up do
you think at some point management or ownership's going to go to Dubas and be like, do something?
But who are you thinking here? Do you have anybody in mind?
Just a roster player.
But who?
Like somebody actually good. Maybe Kerfoot, maybe Nylander, maybe Justin Holl.
Already should have been done.
Maybe Jake Muzzin.
I want to say wet puck that he will, but I have to say dry stick that he won't. No, yeah. He'll do something else.
Because if you look at his past,
it'll be
dry sticks for years.
He'll try to bring someone else in, and he'll just trade a pick to do it. He won't trade one of his guys. One of his guys isn't the problem. We just might need a little more Denny Mulligans.
No, he'll trade Denny Mulligan.
Denny Mulligan might just be called. Dude, he will wet this. I didn't have this one down, but I just made this one up on the spot. Wet puck or dry stick. Before Dubas even considers trading a roster player, he will call up Denny Mulligan from the Marlies to fix the whole fucking thing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It'll be like, Bunting will have an injury and all this stuff. And they'll be like, we need a top 6 winger, somebody to play with Matthews and Marner. And he's like, I got it. Denny Mulligan.
Yeah, Denny Mulligan.
I knew I signed that guy for a reason. Come on down, Denny.
Top fucking winger. Top line winger.
All right, last one for me. And this is just a basic general.
I got one more left.
Wet puck or dry stick, the 2022-2023 Toronto Maple Leafs will have a better season than the 2021-2022 Toronto Maple Leafs, who set the franchise record in points.
Dude, my God, it's such a dry stick. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Isn't that sad that you don't even think there's a hope that they could have a...
No.
Yeah. You think they're going to be worse next year?
100%. 100%. Dry stick. There was a lot of teams
the teams. I was just going to say, teams around them got better.
A lot of teams got better today, and a lot of teams in the Atlantic got better. And they're going to be and that okay. Are you wet puck or dry stick on that?
Oh, I'm a dry stick.
Okay, so we are absolutely in agreement here. So that leads me perfectly into the last one. Yeah. Absolutely. We didn't even plan this out, but it just flowed perfectly.
A lot of people said today on the radio, they were like, the Leafs had some of the worst goaltending in the league for all of January and a bit of February, and they still managed to have and I'm like, yeah, but they also had the best goaltending in the league for October, November, and half of December. And that helped them build a giant cushion.
Sure.
If they don't get the best goaltending for the first 2.5 months, they don't set the franchise record, and they don't come close to 100 points. Probably they're probably mid-90s.
No, that leads me perfect into the last one, Chad. Absolutely perfect. And here it is: the Toronto Maple Leafs will not finish in the top 3 in the Atlantic Division, but will be fighting for a wild card spot all season long. Wet puck or dry stick?
That's tough. Because all right.
I don't think it's that tough.
I mean,
I think that's right where they are. I'll jump the gun. I'll jump the gun on it. It's a wet puck, dude. That's exactly where they're going to be. You think they're competing for top spot?
No, you said top 3.
I don't even see that.
So I'm just thinking third spot, maybe, but more than likely, I think you're
right. Detroit got better. Ottawa got better. Montreal, who knows? They could surprise if they get some goaltending. The Leafs aren't as they're not a clear cut, way ahead of everybody in the Atlantic. Not even close. I think they're bouncing around the wild card wet puck. That's what I think. That's what
The Leafs
that's
are
what I
hanging on
think.
by a thread. If the goaltending's weak, or if they don't score like they did last year, they might not even be a fucking wild card team.
Like, I hate to be super negative here, but these are just the facts. There's nothing that leads me to believe that Murray's going to find his game. So if we get the Matt Murray that we think we're getting, he's just going to be an afterthought. And we're going to rely on Samsonov to fucking like be our guy. And we don't know. He could be awesome, but he might falter too.
Yes.
Then what? We're fucked. We're fucked.
I know. I mean, there's a chance. I don't think they're going to win the division or anything. I think there's a chance on the outside. They're still a really good team forward-wise. And the defense.
But they're not. They don't look as deep today that they did when they ended.
No, they don't look as deep, but they still have some star players. They still have a pretty solid defense. There is
not
a chance.
Not a cup winner. Not a cup winner.
But just
roster.
looking at the Atlantic Division, I mean, Ottawa got better, but are they better than Toronto? I don't know. There is a chance they could.
Their top two lines look pretty good in Ottawa.
They could get second or third. We'll see.
Their top two lines in Ottawa look pretty good, and their goaltending looks pretty good. I think
Ottawa, but the Leafs' top two lines look good too.
Yeah, okay. I think the Sens compete for a playoff spot. I really do.
Oh, I think they compete too. But will the Leafs? I'm just thinking now. Like, I'm looking at the Atlantic Division and looking at the rosters and thinking, there's a good chance they could get third.
Okay, and unfortunately,
it could happen.
I hate to bring this up, but unfortunately, the Leafs tend to think that when they play Ottawa and when they play Montreal, the Leafs think we're so much better than these guys, and they usually get run out of the building by them. The Sens usually fucking beat them, and so do the Habs.
Maybe those teams getting better is what the Leafs needed. They'll actually take those games seriously.
Maybe, but
because now their goalie's on your team.
I don't know. Want to fire out some final thoughts here because we won't be back until training camp. I don't care what happens. I know that Dubas is not going to trade Nylander. I doubt he's trading Kerfoot or Holl. I think it would have happened by now because if you were going to do it, why wouldn't you have already done it to try to make something better happen already? So I think what we see is what we get here. So
a few more holes being plugged and that's it.
We're not coming back until we will be back at training camp and we'll ride the waves through next season, but
you can catch it here. We just started these live streams, so next year they're going to be a regular thing. We're going to keep doing them. We'll do them after games. Usually we do them Sunday afternoons or Sunday evenings. We'll have special ones throughout the season. We'll have new segments coming at you next year. So no matter what happens with the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast has got your back for some wicked entertainment right here.
Oh, that's 100%. And please, before you go to the end, Chad, before we get to the final thoughts, please, on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave some comments down below. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see from us for next season? If you want us to tell us what you want from us.
Also, because it's a podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, if it has a space where you could leave a comment or give us a rating, that really helps in the algorithm to push the podcast up when people are searching for, Leaf podcasts or old men that talk about porn, whatever it is that they're searching for, it'll pop up. So that would really help us out.
Shoot us a freaking bone here, people. Come on. We supply you with probably the best, most entertaining Leafs podcast going. We're not sitting in the basement playing with toys, people.
And we're very modest about it. Very modest about it. But listen, we really want to thank everybody for listening this season. Hopefully things change. I would really like to come back and do a podcast talking about a big trade that shook this team up. Probably not going to happen. So we'll see you at training camp. And until next time, we will.
Hey, for real, everybody, have a great rest of your summer. Maybe Kyle Dubas will surprise us with something big in, the coming days even. Who knows? But I suggest Kyle better get coming real quick. Super quick. Pronto quick. Anyway, have a great summer, everybody, and we will see you in the fall at training camp. Oh, my God, what a season it's going to be next season.
Catch you later, everybody.
Catch you later.
Has he lost his mind?
Wait a second. Has Kyle Dubas lost his mind? What's that? Is there a big trade brewing right now? No, I didn't catch that. I was just buying time to try to get the outro, Chad. Sorry, here we go. Catch you later, everybody. I couldn't find it, so I was trying to buy time. Have a good summer. Catch you later, guys.
Only on the Tip In.
Sorry, catch you later, guys. We'll see you in September. Catch you later.